And a couple of guys, you know, didn't make me feel so bad either, you know.
Robert Sibley still looks like a movie star.
He looks just like Don Johnson. He looks like he could double for him in a set of Miami Vice.
Coach from the sideline there said, you know, they've got our jerseys out there. Let's just go out, suit up, because we could do a better job than what they're doing right now.
So he's never lacked in confidence. As Matthew Knight goes up strong, but Tommy Greer goes up stronger for the rebound. Mills to Greer. He turns it down. Maybe not the first shot that they wanted after the halftime break. This is a workable deficit. Melbourne Tigers can put some points on the board in a hurry.
My word it is, Stephen. We only have to cast your mind back to last Friday night when Townsville were in a very similar situation to what Melbourne Tigers are right now. So they need to find their version of Gill. And Paddy Mills could be the man. Very subdued in that first half was Patrick Mills. Only had the 5 shots, 2 of 5 from the field, and had 2 assists.
Robbins throws it right into the hand of Tommy Greer.
And a lot of the Melbourne Tigers stuff, you think of that halftime break and you're going through the X's and O's and all the strategy out there. But in all honesty, I think a lot of it just comes down to intensity and effort. Just crank that up about 30 or 40%, and right there alone, you're going to make a big difference to what we saw in the first half.
Ubaka with the shot clock winding down. A little bit too much pressure on the shot from Cam Tovey. Bails Ayinda Ubaka out as the shot clock had gotten down to 3.
And Ubaka had 10 points in the first half on a very, very healthy 3 of 4 from the field. And he's another one that you look at has that capabilities just to really take the game by the scruff of the neck offensively and put some points on the board real quick.
And that was always going to be the case, I think, where it was going to take a while for the guard combination to feel flawless, especially since Ubaka really likes the ball in his hands. So does Mills.
Tigers really got to do something about trying to contain Matty Knight. In that first half, he was sensational with 18 points. And 10 of those coming from the free throw line.
Perth trying to get on the board. Ball's knocked away, goes to Ron Dorsey. Cam Tovey comes up short. Greer.
Easy mistake to make, Steve, but it was actually Cam Tragar to come up short. We get confused. Here we see the hustle play. And just good heads-up play by Kevin Lish, just a step in the road.
Crossover dribble. Long arms of Dorsey. We got an over and back violation.
It's an interesting one because it's deflected. And if it's deflected away, well, I guess they figured that he jumped on it, caught it in the, and then slid over. So, yeah, he did continue. I think that's a good call. Gained control of it, albeit he's on the floor, and then kept sliding. So, tough one for Lish. And good defensive effort by Ron Dorsey just to slap that ball away. And, you know, as we go through our heritage round, you get some point where you think of some of the good things and bad things about the changes since then, but Ron Dorsey.
Long rebound goes to Robbins.
The rules, many of the rules have changed a lot since back in 1993. And much debate about whether they are actually being good things or bad things.
Redditch off the mark. Wildcats yet to score in this half. Tigers have scored the first 4. Big possession. Ubaka looking for a teammate. Dorsey catch and shoot from the corner. Bingo. Just like that, it's only an 8-point lead.
And it's the old guard. Those two did that regularly last season. Ubaka to Dorsey for the Cairns Taipans.
Good no call. Ben Knight, or Matthew Knight, follows it up. Redditch on the offensive glass, gets it to Robbins.
3 offensive rebounds in the one play by the Perth Wildcats.
Turnaround jumper by Redditch. He falls down, no call. Tigers have another opportunity to cut into that 15-point halftime deficit. Tommy Greer for three. That was left.
Way left.
Lish gets it into Sean Redditch. We had a low post seal on Tommy Greer.
It's unusual to see Tommy Greer getting involved in a little scuffle. Very out of character.
Sean Redditch doesn't mind a little scuffle either.
And I say that facetiously, of course, because Tommy Greer is the ultimate junkyard dog. Look at him. Tommy Greer instigated all that contact there, but just trying to be a nuisance down there on the defensive end.
Toby lines up his three ball. Trigata does a good job of screening out Neville. Great catch, great footwork, and soft touch by Cam Trigata.
Beautiful body control by Cam Trigata. He's running flat out like that and not travel and still put it up soft. What a start to the third quarter. This is a completely different look Melbourne Tigers.
Where has this team been for a whole half?
What they've been able to do is get it done on the defensive end. That's where the most dramatic improvement's been made. Getting some stops.
Bartlett back into the game for Perth. Goes into the corner. Neville for a 17-footer and an unlikely perimeter shooter. Luke Neville never looked like missing that one in rhythm.
Well, you say unlikely, Steve, but he is very comfortable from that range. Paddy Mills down the middle, dishing one off. This has probably been the most subdued I've seen Paddy Mills since we've been out here. Just happy to defer to others. Rob Beveridge doesn't like what he sees, and nor should he. Only seen 2 points by the Perth Wildcats in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter.
And a rejuvenated Melbourne Tigers cut the deficit to 8.
Pass the pump like never before. Dry off. Listen.
Triple J.
Unlock.
Sure about this?
Cross a creek. Or stay alert like never before. Because Ford now has a range like never before. Take this Territory TX rear wheel drive. 17-inch alloys, reverse sensing, and 5-star ANCAP safety rating. $39,990. Drive away. Never had a test drive before? Maybe now's the time.
Paddy, get into some drags. You got that drags. Yep. You either rim out or you're coming in the drag. Just be patient, wait for it, then open up. Hey, run an X2 next half set for Ron. X2 for Ron. Come on, Ronnie. Go.
Just trying to get Ron Dorsey a shot on the offensive end. And he's been good tonight. 10 points on 4 of 8 from the field. So started to get his rhythm and stroke. And every part of his existence with the Melbourne Tigers just looking so much smoother the last couple of games. He looked real tentative and like a fish out of water in the first couple of games.
I think that Trevor Gleeson knows the rewards that he gets if he can continue to try and keep him involved, because he was a slow starter last year for Cairns, and then he came on like gangbusters. So there's a lot of benefit in persevering with that young athlete. Lish gets a good look at the rim, gets it into Neville, creates some space for himself, and puts it over his old teammate, Lucas Walker.
That's a real good no call down low as well. In fact, he might have had both feet in the paint. We were talking earlier about the rules, so not in the paint, both feet inside the no charge circles. We take a look at the replay. This is a rule that has been introduced, and technically, because he had his little pinky on the line, he's technically outside. You have to have both feet inside the no charge circle to be called not in the appropriate defensive position. And it was a rule that was introduced to try and make it easier on the ref. I've yet to meet a referee that says it doesn't make it harder, because they've got so much work cut out for them, looking to see whether they're in the right position to not. And then now you've got to throw in the fact you've got to see, well, do they have a pinky on the line to know whether it's a charge or not? I don't like it, Steve.
I think it's so tough for him as Lish steps back and he shoots his three off the back of the iron again. Perth with a long rebound. Everhard Bartlett. Boy, he's come in and given them a tremendous spark.
He has, and he looks so composed and very much like he belongs, and playing in that New Zealand league would help him out, build up that confidence.
Lish, he gets to the rim. His lefty's off the mark. Good hustle by Patrick Mills. The ball skids on a wet spot.
Great pass.
Chagas slips the screen, wasn't it, Andrew? Great pass.
And there you see what the punishment. Cameron Chagas, defensive man, was coming up expecting to show on the on-ball. A quick little slip. You see Luke Neville, who's not all that nimble of foot, he's trying to get a head start and come out for the show to guard Paddy Mills if he comes off that on-ball screen. And Cameron Chagas with a heads-up play just to slip it, and an even bigger heads-up play by Paddy Mills to recognise it and put it to Chagas on a platter.
He does that. Can't get his 16th point. Perth get the rebound. Dorsey goes out. Now the Tigers with a very small lineup out there. They've got 3 guards, Lucas Walker and Cam Chagas. Wagstaff trying to keep it alive, but it goes to Ibaka. Dillon into Chagas. Dillon turns the corner, tries to get through a small gap, couldn't get it. Walker goes upstairs.
Just aggression and athleticism. Goes up, shows it, tucks it, tries to scoop it, doesn't get the ball to drop for him, but just brute strength, just bullying his way to the basket, and tucks it, doesn't get it to drop, but he goes to the line to shoot a couple of free throws. Good, positive, aggressive play by Lucas Walker.
When you go to the rim like that, we spoke earlier about how tough it is to guard somebody that is coming at you every possession, and the mentality of the Tigers has been just that here in the early stages of the third.
Have a look at the bench points and look at the Perth Wildcats. They have a starting group, but so many people play starter minutes. You can see there with 24 points coming off the bench, only 7 coming from the Tigers.
Neville keeps it alive to Greer. Mills will wait for his screen. Wide open look at the three-point line. Dillon chases down the long rebound.
Paddy Mills really just trying to guide those shots in now. That was his tempo when he shot. Looked